A very good morning to you. It's Wednesday, the 26th of August, and you got me for the next few days while Sarah is at the studios. I am loving what we're doing today. This was one of my pet projects, I guess, and I think it just got a really nice regal look about it. It's very easy to make. You can turn them into pendants, or you can link them up into bracelets. You can link them up into necklaces. I'm going to turn you down and show you all the samples what I have. Then you can let me know what color would you like me to use. We got 6 different colorways here, 6 different colorways on the website as well. Simon has given us an amazing offer on this. Usually they are $19.99 and the kits are down to $11.99 today, so they're really great savings there if you fancy any of them. So how is everybody doing today? I have to say a very quick thank you for Gabby and Victor, because the table I had here at work, it was quite thin, and with the new setup I had to change it, and basically they donated me a table, and I got a really nice extra wide and so a really nice table to work on. So thank you very much. Right, let me just say hello. Morning, Antida, Jen, Debbie, Lorraine, Alicia, Margaret, Rachel, Ruth, Mina, another Margaret, Carol, Di, Dean, Lucy, Alison, sorry, Francis, Teresa, Marion, Sarah, Sharon, Jean, Pamela. There's so many of you lovelies are here already. Right, let me turn you down and show you all the different morning centre. Show you all the different colours what we have on offer today. Right, I'm going to put myself in the corner so you can see me talking as well. Right, Majestic Rivoli. It is using these lovely 18mm Rivolis, and we're gonna net around them. Now there's various different ways you can do this. There are holders you can put them in, there you can do like a beauty stitch around them, you can do quite a lot, but I found that doing it with netting, not long it gives you, because even in the netting, in the sort of a little corners what you create as you go along, the light still shines through them, so it makes it much brighter. You can use peyote stitch and other stitches as well to cover it, but I just really love to do it with the netting. Now with the netting as well, it's not a long I think it looks nicer, but it's much quicker as well, and I'm going to show you how to cover one, and then I'm going to show you how to link them up and how to do them. So we got, let me just pop you on the website and show you what we got today. So we have an aqua, we have a champagne, we have a mauve, and we have a party red. I love the party red. I'm going to show you that in a minute. We got a teal and we got a green. So they're all normally $19.99 and today they are $11.99. Let me just go back to my window. There we are. Right, so Meet the Aqua, I think it's really nice. Now each one of those packs, kits, they does come with instructions, full instructions I have to say. You're gonna have 2 different colors of Rivoli, so you can make sort of like I used a lighter darker pattern, but you can make your own pattern however you want to use them. So that's Aqua. Do comment which one you like so I can demo it. This one is the mauve. I love the seed beads on this. This is called Higher Grape seed beads. They're just really sort of pinky purpley colors, but I think they go really nicely with those amethysty looking Rivolis. Again, you got a light and a dark in your set. Made the party red. I think this would be perfect for Christmas or evening wear if you're going out. Even if you wear it with a black dress, I think it's going to look really nice. Again, you got a couple of shades of different reds. Now with reds, what I find that if you mix together different shades of red, then it's really wearable. Otherwise, if you make a necklace just with the darker ones, you can only really wear it with darker tops, but if you mix different colors of reds together, which I love doing, then it's really variable, because I think with red it has to be the right color of red. Give me this thing aqua look flush, but wait until you see the tail. I suppose this is one of my other favorites, but I'm really a tealy girl. I love I love all tealy and seafoamy colors, I guess, and aquas and all that sort of things as well. Yeah, so this is still, again, you get two different colors of your Rivolis in there. You get 15s, 11s, you get your pearls, and you get your crystals. Now the crystals is not, you don't need the crystals to construct your neck, the Rivoli itself, but you need it to construct your necklace. And you can turn one of the little Rivolis as a little button, so you don't need any clasp, and you can have a really nice necklace. I love the teal. Right, moving on, we got this lovely, which was the brown one called? Champagne, that's it. That's what I was looking for. Again, you get a couple of colors of Rivolis, you get all your pearls. I just made this as an alternative, so I didn't add any crystals in this one. I just used my pearls going all the way to the top. You could do that as well. I do love including the crystals as well. And here is your green. Now the green is lovely as well. Again, it can be a festive feel, but don't forget, if you just make one, you could turn it into a pendant and do it for I suppose friends and family as little presents coming up to Christmas. Right, what color are we gonna go for? What color? And Molly, I've got Molly here next to me, and do let me know what color is everybody liking the most.
The main one's been aqua and red, and then the odd mark in there.
Aqua and red.
Yeah, they've been the main ones that come up.
I think red sometimes can show up. It's a little bit hazy on the camera. So I think let's go with aqua, or we could even go with teal, because the teal has two different colors of seed beads in there almost, and then you can really see the pattern on there. But aqua is equally good.
We've got more coming in now, so we'll mix match.
All a mixed match now. Oh, bless. Green is good as well for a change. Or the champagne. Champagne is probably doesn't come up that good as well. So I think it's either one of these three which just shows up better. Probably these two, because a little bit darker color show up better on the camera than the aqua. Slime, teal. I think let's go with the teal, because the size 15s are different from the size 11, so you can really see what's happening there. Right, I've got all the bits of pieces here. You're going to need size 15s, you're going to need size 11s, you're going to need your Rivoli. So we're just going to choose one. I'm going to go with the darker one here.
Mina's asked Rivolis do you get?
12? 12, I think it's 12. I sort of said 12 and I doubted myself sort of saying it, but yes, it is 12. Sometimes we have so many different kits and you get so many different amounts in different kits, and like you quite confidently come out, yes, it's got this amount, and as you're saying it, you doubt yourself, but it's 12, isn't it, Molly?
I believe so.
Yes. Molly's saying 12. Right, so you've got crystals and our pearls. We're going to need our pearls first. So I'm just going to take a few pearls off here. You're going to need 9 to start with. Just 9 pearls. And just pull these through. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, you go on 9. Yep, that's it. Then we're going to need our size 15s and our size 11s. Let me just quickly get some on the mat. I'm going to get some here closer to me. Kimberly's saying, I don't normally like green, but green looks lush too. I think they're all really nice, because the Rivolis are sparkling so much on them that they, no matter what, whatever color you use, they're all going to look really, really nice. Right, the thread we're going to be using is the AA, because we're working with 15s. We don't have to go around the 15s too much, but we're going backwards and forwards on our little Rivoli, and just the thinner thread allows you to go backwards and forwards a little bit more than D. I'm still using size 10 needles. You could use size 12 if you like, but size 10 is just a little bit more rigid, so I do like to use size 10. Now, a couple of arm span doubled over, I'm leaving my bobbin on there just for now, so if I need any more I can take some and continue the other way. Right, the pattern is really easy. Do excuse the wind because it's really windy in here, and the wind is just rattling the roof, I guess, of the warehouse. So we got these sort of skylights and everything else, and the wind is just rattling it. Usually we get seagulls on the roof going like knock, 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 dropping stones, but today is the wind. Right, so the pattern is really easy. There is a PDF for, if you want, you can download it. It's all fully illustrated all the way through. There is 5 pages of this, so it's a really good one. Right, so the pattern, very easy. Or you're gonna start right in the middle. So we're gonna start right in the middle row, and then we're gonna work our way out. So I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit actually, so you can see it better. Let me just move.
Sounds good. It's very expensive. A fabulous present to make for a friend for Christmas.
What is it? This thing, that's it. Oh look, I can bring it. Can anybody see this comment here? I did this by accident. Poor Mina is just out there. Can you see this comment right in the middle of the screen, or it's only more it?
I can now, yeah.
Wow. So apparently I can bring in one of your comments and highlight it. Oh, this is really great. We're going to have fun with this program, but this was purely accident, Mina. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that, but I was dragging the window. It brought it across. Every day we learn something different, I guess. Right. You're going to pick up the following patterns. So we're going to pick up 3 of our size 15s and a size 11. And you're going to pick this up 9 times. And then we're going to follow a little circle. That's 2, 3. Sorry, I really want to, I need it to be very specific because otherwise the pattern is not going to work. So I need to be adding 3 size 15 and a size 11 9 times and just sliding them down. That's all we're doing so far. Very nice and easy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we got here. 1, 2, 3, 7. Now if you started with 3 size 15s, then you want to finish with a size 11. So I'm just on my last set and pull this all the way around. I always just double check it because before I turn into circles, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this around my finger and I'm going to go through all of those seed beads again to form a nice and firm loop. Now you could knot your thread and your tail together here, but I don't like to do that because I still want to go backwards and forwards with the beads, and I don't want the knot to seek into the hole on the bead and block me to be able to go through it later on. So I just like to go around, forming a nice little circle all the way.
Karen has ordered the teal, mauve and aqua.
Ah, thank you, Karen. Right, so you want to stop that you are coming out of one of your size 11s. Now, I don't like to work right next to my tail because as you can see, when you're pulling it, you're sort of pulling your circle apart and a little bit of thread path is always sort of want to show there. So what I like to do to sort of remedy that, I'm just going to go through 1 or 2 sections again, and when I pull it tight down, and just quickly go through and I show you when I pull it tight down, I'm working away from my tail and I'm pulling in the opposite direction with my tail and my working thread. So now I've got a really nice and strong base there. So as I'm coming out one of the size 11 seed beads, I'm gonna pick up, it doesn't matter if you work clockwise or if you work anti-clockwise, it's whatever is more comfortable for you. I'm just gonna turn this so it's on my side, and you're gonna need to pick up 5 size 11 seed beads. But for now, we're done with the size 15s, and as you can see here, I'm gonna go through the next size 11. So I'm gonna leave, I'm exiting from the size 11 that way. I'm gonna skip these 3 size 15s and just go through the next size 11 on my row and pull this up, and I'm just creating a little loop of 5 seed beads, which is just gonna sit there, and I'm gonna repeat this 8 more times just to go all the way around. So it's very nice and easy so far. And just keep going around. Once we get around, it's sort of gonna look like a sun what children would draw on a paper or on their drawings, I guess. It's quite interesting what, like when we look at shapes, we look at them and it reminds us different things. And another 5, and I'm almost all the way around. And once we get around, we're going to step up before we move to the next row.
Francis has ordered the champagne necklace.
Ah, bless. Thank you.
And Mina has made 3 Selena actual bracelets, and they're really easy to make, and she might be able to make a 4th one. But thank you.
Oh, I love making the Selena one. Sometimes it's so hard that we say we come up with a design and we make a sample up or even like work out the colorways, and it's not until the last minute until we actually give a name to the bracelet or necklace or the jewelry what we're making. And sometimes it's so hard to name, isn't it? We sort of go on Google and see like, oh, what's all the different lady names, or you know the names again's got different meanings, and sometimes it can take us like half an hour to decide on a name, isn't it, Molly? Right, I'm just adding my last section, so I would go through the size 11 as normal, but what I'm going to do in the same, as I'm pulling it through, I'm going to go to the first 3 seed bead of the first loop I created. So I'm going through the size 11, which is on my base circle, and the first 3 seed bead, which is just there on my first loop. So that's how, in the same sort of motion, I'm adding my last little loop, and I'm stepping up to be able to add further beads. Now, this is where our pearls are going to come in. From here, we're going to have to stitch through always the middle seed bead of every single row. So I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, a pearl, and another seed bead, and I'm going to go through the middle. So this little loop of 5 seed beads here, I'm going through number 3, the middle one, and pull this up.
Sheila's asked, are the Rivolis crystal or acrylic?
They are acrylic. But they are, you wouldn't, when you wear them, I was so happy when we found this supplier. You wouldn't know when you wear them that they are acrylic, because they are really, really sparkly. They're really nice in quality. I made this, I actually had this Rivoli, this going back years ago. And I made this little beaded angel with it, and it took me forever. I mean, it took me probably about 6-7 hours to make, and the Rivoli was sort of in the middle, and it looked really, really good. And I dropped it, and we were away at the time doing a show, and I think they must have had some sort of granite or something flooring in the hotel room, and I was doing this sort of in the evening just to find my time, and I dropped it on the floor in the bathroom, and basically the Rivoli is just cracked. And then it was so disheartening because I worked so much with it that I lost it. I dropped it and it's cracked. I don't even know why I took it into the bathroom. I mean, that's not really what you would do, but never mind. So I'm just keep adding one seed bead, one pearl, and one seed bead. And with these Rivolis, because they are sort of acrylic, they're pretty hard. You can't break them, and they still look very realistic and very real, very sparkly. Right, I'm just next.
Lorraine and Ross, what size pearl are they?
The pearls are 3mm. So when you're making something like this, you do need to be very careful with the sizing, because just by using a smaller or a larger pearl or a crystal or seed bead or anything you're using, the pattern is not going to work. I mean, you can see this little. Let me just get to the end and I show you. I just need to add one more section. This little part of the netting, what we did already, is cupping on itself, so it's going to be the perfect housing for our Rivoli. Now I'm just going through the last one, and I'm going to go along just one more segment, just sort of work away from where I stepped up. So if I turn this now, you can see it's already turning into a little bit of a 3D shape. Now if I used 4mm pearls, this one would be really flat, and it wouldn't be able to house your Rivoli very easily. So at this point, what we're going to do, we're going to add the loops on the other side, these 5 little loops, and then we're going to close it in on the Rivoli itself. So what I like to do on the back, I like to make it a little bit smaller than on the front, because you really want this to tighten on there. So you can see on the back our loops are slightly smaller, and on the front these loops are slightly a little bit bigger. So when you put the Rivoli in there, you sort of have that what's the word I'm looking for? It's sort of a Rivoli is popping to the front of your design. So I'm gonna go around one more set until I'm coming out of a pearl.
Pablo said, can you show up close how the pearl is sitting?
So we added those loops first, and then we went around and added the pearls, and now I just worked my way, sort of stepped up and went along a little bit. I'm working anti-clockwise here until I come out from a pearl, and now I'm gonna add 4 seed beads to the back. So I'm just gonna go through the next pearl, and then I'm gonna pick up another 4 seed beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, and go to the next pearl. And it's really that easy. Sort of going around circles and adding your beads, and you can't sort of really go wrong here because you're going through the pearls and the pearls are really standing out. Says me, and I just got myself into a little knot here. Come on, let's untwist. That's it, and pull this up nice and tight. Now once I got around, you can add your Rivoli in here now before you add these loops, or just after you add these loops before you tighten it up. It doesn't really matter. I quite like to add it in at this stage, and I'm just going to grab one in a second, because then you got something more solid to hold on to. If you feel that your Rivoli is falling out because obviously it's not secured in there, you can always use a little bit of masking tape from the bottom, just to it depends how you holding your beadwork, because it's even between me and Sarah, I think we hold things different way and we stitch things different ways. Now, I've not, like a peyote stitch is a peyote stitch, so you can't really do it differently. But what I mean about stitching different way, that I like to stitch away from myself, and some people like to stitch towards themselves. So you just have to find what is the most comfortable for you, how to do your how to hold your beading. Some people, and we teach workshops or bead clubs as well, some people do like to do it down on the mat, and they sort of work on the mat as they go along. I really like to hold my piece because I feel that if I hold what I'm working on, I got more of a control over it. 1, 2, 3. We got a rogue pearl here, and for a second I thought I didn't do the right amount. I thought I only had 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's right. Oh, sometimes those moments like, and I'm just adding the last one. Now, when you edit the last one, I'm going to go through the pearl, and I'm going to go through the first. I'm just going to go through the pearl, and then stepping up, you want to go through the first 3 seed beads in the loop. So we're not working out right in the middle like we did in the row before. We sort of towards the end, so just only 1 seed beads before the next pearl where we need to come out. So we're going through 3, and then we just add the Rivoli. Now the Rivoli, you need to add it face down because this is going to be our nice and shiny side, and this is going to be the back side of our Rivoli. And now all is left to do is to zip it up. And these loops, as they're going to go around, they're going to come around and they're going to tighten onto the back of the Rivoli, and just holding it, sort of holding the Rivoli in place. So I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead, and I'm going to go through the middle 2 on the next loop. So I'm not just going through 1, I'm going to go through this middle 2 on the next loop. And I pull this tight, and as you can see, as I'm pulling it tight, it is coming, sort of curling the end, curling in on itself. I do like to hold it down as I hold my working thread under my thumb, and that will, what will that do? This won't let the thread to travel backwards, so it will give me a tighter tension. And I'm going to pick up another seed bead and go through the 2 in the next loop we just added in the previous row, and pull this nice and tight as well. I like to turn the Rivoli as I go around, so I always sort of working on the same section, if you like. But I'm doing the same thing over and over again, just picking up 1 seed beads and going through the middle 2. 1 seed bead and going through the middle 2. And just pulling up nice and tight. And keep going around. And once I got around, I'm gonna properly run around this inner row once or twice, just to really tighten it up, and make sure that my rivet is nice and snug inside there.
Diana said at the end, could we see all the colours again, please?
Of course you can. So what I would do when I have, or I make something like this, I would just sort of sit there, and I would cover the rivolis with the beads and leave the tails and working thread on there, and just put it to the side and decide later how I'm gonna, because there is different shapes you can add them together. There is different you know, you can turn them into a bracelet, you can turn them into a necklace, you can turn them into a pendant. I would worry about that later. I would just sort of add all the netting to all of them, and I think I'm on the last section here now. That's it. So I just pull it. So I went all the way around. I'm going to pop this down, and I'm gonna hold the thread between my index finger and thumb and pull from the other side. And as you can see, it's nicely tightening on there, just like that. And then I'm going to take it back up in my hands, not letting that thread travel back up. Now if I turn around, this side is really nice, but we still got our thread here, and what we're going to do with our thread, we're going to insert the needle on it later on and go around this inner circle, tighten it up as well, so you can have a really nice and straight. And as you can see, because the seed beads have got a certain amount of hole, I guess. These size 15s are about 1.5 millimeter in size, so the hole on them, I guess, is probably about 0.8 millimeter, but it's totally guessing at the moment because I haven't got I think it's on a chart in front of me. So because the thread we're using is a little bit thinner, you do need to go around a couple of times. So these little, you can hardly see them, but once you go around them again, it's really going to straighten up and you're going to have a nice side. I just sort of put my hand in the 15s here. Right, going to the back, I'm just going to go around, whiz around again, all this last row. I'm not adding any more seed beads here, just going around, and each time I go, I just pull a little bit tighter, going through the bead we just added in the previous row, and the beads on the loop, just in a circle, just going around it, tightening it up. Because we got size 11s here, we can do this two times. I suppose it's more than enough. If your Rivoli is a little bit loose at this point, don't worry, because we're going to tighten it up on the other side as well. So let me just run around here. Lorna is saying it would be nice to have 3 in a V shape. Yes, it would. And I had a sample just like that, but it's in that safe place. You know, the safe place. I keep putting things away and I couldn't find it. And I did look for it yesterday. I got a sneaky suspicion that it's one of my little jewellery treasure bags at home. But it's like anything. I think if you're a crafter, you know exactly what I mean, that safe place where we put stuff and we come back and we can never find it. It will turn up. It will turn up one day. Right, so I'm almost all the way around at the back, and you can see just by going around one extra time how much is not tightened up, and those beads are sitting more and more straight. And just pull this up. Just going through the last few. Keeping it nice and tight. And that's it. So now I would, go around a couple of times here and just I'm gonna add the needle to my tail end, tighten up the front, and just put my Rivoli to the side. So I'm just gonna grab another needle, take a little bit thread off at the front, and add my needle onto it. And then you're gonna end up with, as many pieces as you want to cover on the side, with the Rivoli covered with your beads, encased with the beads, and it's just sort of gonna sit there. And you can decide later on if you want to add the lighter or darker colors or just the light colors. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. So I'm just going to run around the inner circle through all of those beads and just slightly straightening them up.
Lorna said it's a nice surprise when you find all those same places.
Oh yes, I mean that box. I do have my personal page, Kitty Robinson Designs, and usually on Sunday I do like a weekly catch up on there. And basically, I found a box of jewellery at home which I packed up when we moved, and we moved over 4 years ago, and I found it in the guest room in the chest of drawers, and it was like I completely forgot about it that I had it, and I found some really lovely little treasures. I found this little fuchsia bookmark, and I thought, oh, they're gonna make the perfect earrings, so I very quickly put it on the list for us to do some point in I think I put it in about 3 weeks time. So I would run around again to really tighten that one up. I'm just not going to bore you here and sit here and sort of show you. You don't want to watch me just sort of going around the same thread path. So that's it. That's your Rivoli's increase. It's really nice and strong. The Rivoli can't fall out anymore because these loops are smaller than the Rivoli itself. So that's gonna stay there. And I would make all of these up just like that, put them to the side, and then I would come back and join them up. And actually I got some of the aqua here, which I done earlier. So sometimes I would work one thread off and then just have the longer thread on there. I should have taken these out of my bag because I usually just wrap it around the Rivoli itself. Let me just get this still out of the way. So I got this aquacy. I just want to very quickly show you how easy it is to link them up, because you can link them up in so many different ways. You can link them up in different you can have a curve. I'm just going to show you, or a V finish, depending on where, because don't forget we got 9 pearls around it, so depending on where you go through the pearls, you're going to get a different shape. So I got 2 lighter one, a darker one, another darker one here. So I'm just tangled up with my beads, but never mind. Just going to cut this off. So I could, once I made all these up and they're just sitting on my mat. Molly, can you please pass me that little white thing so I can scoop my beads away? Thank you, hon. Just pop these beads away because I keep pinging them. So you could decide how you're going to join them up, and we don't need an extra thread, because what we're going to do, we're going to use these sort of leftover threads what we had on our Rivolis to join them together. And only on the last one where you're going up to the clasp, well, you can decide if you got enough thread there to go all the way up, or if you have to add a new one. So you could play with it, and as you can see, because you've got 9 pearls around it, it's not going to be even however you join them up. So I always join sort of 2 pearls to 2 pearls. Let me just, actually I will bring the camera in a little bit more for you so you can see it better.
Nadia, I think that's how it's said.
Yeah.
Said I usually cover the backs of Rivolis to avoid scratching them accidentally. Lily's Rivolis have stronger coating on the back.
Because they are acrylic, they are the coating of them is not metal based, so that yes, they are. I think they are stronger than normal sort of glass ones. And what is about is, I think the plating sticks to the acrylic much better than it sticks to glass, because when they make the glass Rivolis, obviously they can't. So when you do add any plating or any glue or any surface, I think the main rule of it is that the surface has to be a little bit like, like sandpaper, like a little bit bumpy, not really smooth. And with the glass Rivolis, when they make them, they can't, there is a process that how they can make them the things really like etching them, so those things really stick them very well. And with glass, obviously you can't do that, because then you would see it from the other side. But I think the plating sticks together much better to the acrylic ones. Right, so you can play around with it, and I just really wanted to zoom you in. So always join 2 sort of pearls to 2 pearls, and you can join them in any direction you want to. If you want to do a straight one, then you're going to be joining 1 pearl, that's it, 1 pearl to 2 pearls, because then on one side to make a straight line like I got it in here. So, and one Rivoli, sort of two pearl meets up with one pearl to make a straight, and then I'll just go down on the side, run down on the side of it. If you want to join it in in sort of more of a V shape, then I would take it up. You can even take it up that much, so you got a really sort of nice V shape there. And just curve the rest of it as well. So it's up to you how you're gonna put together. But these pearls on the outside, they are really your point of reference. And if I grab one of the finished samples here, so this one is again joined in the same place. So on the top I can always see 3 pearls, 3, and then it's joined, and on the bottom you got a larger, you can see more pearls. So that's how you get a natural curve in your necklace. Now where is my, did I have a pointed one? This one is probably a bit more pointed. I'm just getting tangled up with my thread here. Let me just, oh come on thread, what happened? That's it, thread free. So with this one, we got more of a, so on the bottom, you can, there is 1, 2, 3 pearls, and then as you're moving up, you can see 4 pearls on the top. Oh, sorry, let me just pull it in the middle. So again, naturally curving that necklace, and I think that's what really makes it really great. And let me just pop this on. Actually, I could pop any of them on because I like to make them a little bit longer. That if you naturally curve it, it's naturally gonna sit nice and shaped. I'll just get the hair out of the way, and I'm gonna go back to this camera. So it's not twisted, is it? So then it's gonna sit really nice and curve on your necklace. You could make it longer, you can make it shorter, you can really make it to the size what you want to do it. But what I love about it, that you can just add 3, you can add 5, you can add 7. Odd numbers work better than even numbers, I think. So obviously if you make a bracelet, it doesn't really matter, because on the bracelet it's just going to be sort of in a straight line. But I think it makes a really nice, fantastic piece of jewellery, more of a focal piece, and more of a, you know, you can wear for an evening that. But if you just did 3, that could be your day wear, I guess, as well. This is more of a pointy one as well, the tail one. I really did enjoy making these. And, oh, sorry, let me just turn you back down and just sort of show you the how to join them together. So I'm going to just put that onto the side. So once I come to, I finished my Rivoli, whether I finished it on the front, on the back, and I'm just going to add a piece of, I'm going to add a needle to this, which my needles are escaped. Just like that. And I'm going to take my thread all the way to the side. Come on, thread. This is one of those moments, threading needle live is never really goes right. Right, so wherever you finish, front or the back, go through this seed beads until you get to the part where you can just exit up to the side of your Rivoli. And I'm just going to go through this pearl. And then what I would do, let's add a crystal between.
Lorna's asked, do you do smaller Rivoli so you could mix bag and small graduate?
You could add smaller Rivolis to it, but I think using it just the same size, it does, it makes it, I don't know, nice and even. But it's your design. This is the beauty of it, that you could do whatever you like. You know, there is no right and wrong here. You know, it's your own design. Oh, sorry, I wanted to add this in the corner so you can see me. So I'm gonna pick up one seed bead. I'm gonna pick up a crystal, just to add a little bit of extra sparkle on there, and another seed bead here. And I am going to take another piece of Rivoli, and as we are exiting from the pearl here, I'm gonna go through the 3 seed beads between 2 pearls on the other Rivoli. 1, 2, and 3. That's it. And now I'm going to come back and pick up another seed bead, another crystal, and another seed bead. And I'm going to come back on this side and go through those 3 seed beads between the 2 pearls. And with this, I joined my 2 rivulets together, and really that's how easy it is. Now I usually go through this thread path one more time just to really secure it and really make that connection nice and strong, and then I'll usually use the same thread until I sort of run out. I would weave my thread all the way on the outside of the next Rivoli, then get the next one and connect that one up there or wherever you want to connect it really. It is quite good to put it down on your mat and just have a look the shape what you want to do. So that's why if you netted around them, all of them, and just put it to the side, then you can sit down and play with them. So that's it, really, that's how easy is this to make make a lovely Rivoli necklace. And you can make them in any size, and as I said, you could do the clasp, you can make one of them into a clasp, like a little button clasp, but in the instructions as well. I really, really loved it. So I hope you like creating them just as much as I do. If you wish, you don't have to link it up to a necklace. You can make them into a little pendant, but I forgot to bring up the samples. I think they're downstairs. But never mind. The instructions are 5 pages, and it's all there drawn out page by page what you have to do. I think it's a really nice and sort of relaxing thing, because one Rivoli takes you maybe about 20 minutes to net around, and so if you got a spare 20 minutes here and there, you can do it, and in the end you put it all together.
Frances, what thread are you using?
The thread is Superlon double A, so I just use a little bit thinner one because you have to sort of weave around it. And if you want to turn it into a pendant, you could get away using the T, because all you're going to do once you made it up is add a little loop to the top. But if you want to link it together to form a necklace or a bracelet, I suggest you use double A, because you're going backwards and forwards as you sort of sewing them, the components together as well. You're just going to need that little bit of a thinner thread so you can go back to those seed beads again and again. Then asking, do we get extra crystals and pearls? So in the kit you get a whole strand of crystal, a whole strand of pearl. You get your 10 gram of size 11s, 10 gram of size 15s, and you get 12 of your rivulets. You see, beads are going to have plenty of leftover, and your crystals and pearls as well. I like to use the crystals going to the back of the necklace because I think it just makes it a little bit more interesting. But you could do a little pattern adding maybe a pearl between it, or as you go along, depending on what materials you got left over, how you use them. Question, is the thread included? Yes, the thread is included in the kit because we're using double A. So what we wanted to do, just put it all together for you, so you got everything there what you need to make the kit. So sometimes we try to keep the cost down and we do the kits without the thread, and you can add it as an add-on, because let's face it, most of us already got loads of thread at home. But in this instance, because I think you need a double A for it, we put it in there. So I hope you enjoyed today. What we're gonna do tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna do tubular netting, and I need to finish. I'm just going to turn you down and show you. I need to finish this sample for you. We're going to be using 3mm crystal beads. I'm going to be using size 11 seed beads, and if you want to, that's sort of our normal weave, and if you want to up it and have it a bit more of a challenge, I guess, then you could use mix the 15s in there as well. So I think they look really, really good. I love tubular netting, and there is so many different colors and so many different things what you can make with it. Very easy pattern to go along as well. So I hope you enjoyed today. Do you have a lovely day? Check out the website, as I don't know how long is Simon's going to keep the offer on. They are 40% off, isn't it? From 19.99 down to 11.99. Because math is not this time of the morning, I guess. And yes, we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're going to be doing tubular netting. And I can't remember what we're doing for the rest of the week because I haven't got my diary in front of me. But I'll let you know tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy whatever you do. If you've got any question, you can always send us a message. Please, if you make anything, post a picture in one of the groups, because I just love to see what you're making or what colors you put together, because each one of us is sort of got different takes on things. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.